So all you need to do is you have to start the application. The way to start that is, don't forget, it is Java dash jar and the name of the application, which is this here. So let's try to copy if it works. I'm not sure. Let's see if it works or not. Yes, it works. So with the Java jar demo, we can start the application and let's see how it's running, if it's booting up or not, right? So it seems to be everything is okay now. It says I'll just allow the access, right? Yes, actually it's all right. So I started the demo application, and this means if I call the localhost 8080 and localhost 8080 and the endpoint name, which is I think all users, it should show me all users, you see. So here are all the users I have in the database, right? So it's working fine. But I want to mention something, that I have downloaded software called Postman, right? If you download this Postman, you will have the chance to test all the endpoints we have. That's why we are using this Postman. So let's see what it looks like. So I'm calling in Postman and it's still loading. And let's wait till Postman has loaded. Yes, that's it, what we have to see. Basically, here you can change the different functions. Don't forget, if you want to get the data from the database, you are using the get function. If you want to write something in the database, you have to use the post. If you want to update something in the database, you have to call the put. And if you want to delete something, you have to use the delete. There are some other options, but we don't deal with those. So first, we are using the get, right? And then localhost 8080 is where our application is running. So, and as you saw, we already called the all users endpoint. And wow, here are the 4 records we have in the database, right? This is the response. So it's working fine, okay? Don't forget, we have 4 different records in the database, but let's check again to make sure. Yes, we have 4. So let's see the next one. So we have checked, let's get into the controller. We have checked the first one, which was this, yeah? Let's check the second one when we want to get only one user from the database. So I want to check again, and let's see, take out one record, which is the Joanna Kruger Berlin, and that's the ID number 6. So what we are going to do here in Postman, we are calling, what was the name of the endpoint? Let's check again. So it's user. That's the name of the endpoint, and we have to use the ID. Joanna's ID was 6 in the database, so we call user slash 6. So let's get back here, and here we use user slash 6, right? So, oh, okay. Joanna Kruger is here. So that means the endpoint is working fine. It returns this ID with the name, address, and email. So the endpoint is working okay. So let's see the next endpoint. The next one is when we want to create a new user, but that's the name of the register. So we have to change the function because we want to write something into the database and change the endpoint name to register. That's what we have given here. So register. Okay. So, but what we need to do is basically it should have a body, the request body. That is the request body, right? And I want to write something new here a brand new user. So let's use a name. The name should be like Judith Brown, and the address should be California, right? And the email should be Judith at hotmail.com. And we don't use an ID with a new user because the system will give the user an ID. So I will delete that, and I have to delete the comma from the end. Why do we know that the system will give it an ID, give the user an ID? Actually, we know it because if you go back to your entity file, which is the user.java, here, which is highlighted, we have stated that the system will generate a new value for the ID. That's why you don't have to pass in any ID. So what's happening here, we are clicking on send, and look at this. We got back an OK message. Here an OK in the body, response body. And that means this record have been written into the database. Let's check it, right? So we get back here and we do a refresh. So website, and then view all rows, and look at this. Judith Brown is here in the database. So we have written the new record into the database. So that's working well. Okay, so what's the next one we have to check? The next one, we get back to the controller. We still have two more. We have the delete. So we have to use the remove and the ID. So which one we want to delete? So let's say we want to delete this Hobo Blues, right? This is the ID 7. So if I get back to Postman and I switch to delete here, and I want to use delete, and I give the ID 7, that's the one I want to delete, and I click send, and look at this, it says not found, something is wrong, right? Here I get a message, delete 7 is not working, not found. Something went wrong. Let's check what went wrong. So the Hobo Blues actually has the ID 7, and I used the delete. Okay, so probably I made a mistake here, and it's not delete, but it's called something else. Yeah, here, you see, I should use the remove instead of the delete. That's the one I have given here as an endpoint name. So I want to change it to remove. And let's see. This time it's working well. So it says it was okay. This operation went well, and then we got back we got back nothing here in the body, but it's enough if it says it's all right. So if we check here again, we have to refresh the database, and I click on all rows. And while the Hobo Blues is gone, it's not here in the database anymore. I have deleted that from the code. Okay, so the last one is the put mapping when we have to update one record. So we just have to use the update, right? So here in Postman, I will switch to put because that's the update. So, and I will use the update endpoint. So update, and I have to determine, you know, the one I want to update. So okay, this Judith Brown can be updated. Let's see the record again. Judith Brown, California, and the email address is given, and the ID is 10. This time we have to pass in the ID because the system has to know which record I want to update. So therefore, I will comma, and then write ID here and colon, and then I have to pass in the number 10. And let's change to Florida, right? So we are changing California to Florida. And then click send. And seems to be all right because the status is okay. We got back a message okay. And let's check the database directly. So if we right click and all rows, and let's see, Judith Brown is the last one. And you see here we changed it to Florida. So we can state all of our endpoints have been working very well. That's a success. It's a successful thing, successful Arbeit, successful work. Sorry, I told in German. And we are really, really happy that this has happened. And basically, our work has gone very well. So we have achieved our goal. We have created the endpoints. And the next step, we will pass these endpoints to the front end. So actually, that was the end of our class today. And I hope you really benefited a lot from this. And I hope you are still excited and you will stay excited so that you start with the front end part, which is very good because that's the user interface. And you will see how the front end is using the new endpoints so that we can perform operations from the user interface. I really thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And I hope you don't give up and you come with me to the front end part. So I wish you all the best for today. Have some fun, relax, and let's continue with the front end next time. Bye bye.